Morning, everyone. I'm Paul Stevens, as introduced. I am the founder of a business called cocreatd. I'll tell you a little bit more about us in just a second. But before I do, a little bit of context in terms of our startup challenge. So our industry is going through a period of pretty unprecedented change at the moment. I don't think it'd be too controversial to say that. A lot of question marks about AI and what AI means for the future of work, the future of people's jobs and job security, and the future of our industry. And they are all legitimate questions and probably questions we don't have answers to right at the moment. However, at cocreatd, we have a belief that in spite of all that, there's probably never been a better time to start your own business and do your own thing with the possibilities that AI is bringing about. And so what we decided to do at MadFest was something to bring that concept to life. And like I say, I'll tell you a little bit more about cocreatd in just a second. But we put out about 6 weeks ago a call to arms for anyone who's had that kind of entrepreneurial itch but never quite taken a leap for whatever reason, to pitch a business idea live on stage at MadFest with the opportunity to win an investment package of £100,000 from cocreatd, and over 48 hours turn that business into something that can launch on Friday, should we choose to. We had 320 something applications, and we whittled those down to just eight brave people who decided to come and pitch an idea live on stage yesterday. We also, on top of that, left a couple of spaces for anyone that might be in the audience who fancied shooting their shot, so to speak, like live. And we had 3 people who all decided to do that. So we actually had 11 pitches in the end. And on stage yesterday, we whittled that down to just 3 applicants who were all sat on stage now. And we've been doing some pretty cool stuff over the last 24 hours. But before I tell you about that, let me tell you a little bit about cocreatd. So in the simplest terms, what we do is we identify, invest in and co-found businesses with aspiring founders who are excited and motivated by all of the changes that new technology and AI is bringing about. The way we do that, like I say, it's very much co-creation. Our kind of favorite bit of startups and scale-ups and creating companies is the early stages of coming up with an idea and that sprint to turn it into something real and get into a launch moment. And then the 0 to 1 of acquiring early users and things. It's the bit that, as 4 founders, we've been doing for probably the last 10 years of our careers, and the bit that we really love. And so we're not a venture studio, we're not an investment house, we co-found businesses. And the way we do that is we provide seed capital. We provide access to our network, that's a network of agency contacts, network of brand contacts, freelancers, partners, and through that give pipeline and clients from day one to marketing services and marketing technology businesses. We give access to community. It's one thing we've identified as being really important to founders is a lot of people feel they're going it alone, and so community, in the truest sense of the word, is something that is embedded into how we work, and we have a platform, playbooks and codified learnings that we've had as founders for the last 10 years, and we give that access to our founders to that as well. We do all the boring stuff, company inception, all the legal stuff, take care of all that for businesses, and I say demystify businesses, but the expression that we use is we try and stack the odds in the favors of founders and give them every opportunity to win. We've only existed for 7 months or so, but in that time, we've founded, or co-founded, should I say, 7 businesses, everything from AI sales and automation agents to web platforms to UGC content creator platforms with like prominent tech creators across TikTok and Instagram, lots of things in between, and we've actually diverged into more like kind of traditional SaaS businesses as well. 10 co-founders, and we've raised over £1 million worth of investment into companies. And this over the 48-hour period here at Mad, we're going to add 1 more. So the rules of how it's worked, like I say, 8 people pitched yesterday, 3 people who I'm going to introduce in a second shared their ideas, and we've been in this kind of intense period of workshopping with them over at the Boiler House, where we're doing this kind of in a live environment. Eliminated is such a brutal word, but we'll be letting one person go this morning, not because we don't believe in the ideas, but because trying to build one company in 48 hours is ambitious enough. Trying to build 3 is kind of bordering on insanity, I would say. And then for the rest of the day, we're going to go through further sprints where we develop websites, where we develop launch content, where we develop launch videos, where we build sales, marketing, and automation agents, so that if we want to, we can press the go button tomorrow on a business. And we're trying to do this for 2 reasons, and I'll be quick because I'm very mindful of time here. One is that we know that this room will be full of incredibly talented people who haven't quite made that leap into entrepreneurship yet, and we want to find the next business to invest in. And the second, we want to signal to everyone here at MadFest that if you're one of those businesses that works in or works with an agency, or it could be client side where you're dealing with 5-day SLAs to get a tagging request completed or a basic asset, you can't afford to sleep in this new age of AI. We're trying to signal just what is possible. And at 5:30 today, we're going to come back, we're going to present all of that to the people in this room, and we're going to pick a winner and invest in that business. One winner starts a new company with us. So what I'd like to do in the last 4 minutes is just give you a quick summary of the businesses that we've taken forwards and confirm which 2 will carry on into this second sprint today. So first of all, Rebecca Bellas, who sat there in the middle, is the founder of a early stage business, which is kind of in concepting phase, called Pitch Sorcery. Something that resonates hugely with all 4 co-founders at Co-Created. We've been in the agency game for many years. We've seen procurement processes be clunky from both sides, and Rebecca is trying to build a procurement platform that smooths out that process, makes the experience better for agencies and for brands, makes it more cost-effective for brands. And we've been playing around with some really nice ideas around how that extends into onboarding. I think anyone here that's worked in an agency or worked with an agency will know that that is often a big challenge. You can find a great agency, but if the onboarding isn't smooth, the relationship can fall down pretty quickly. So we've had some really productive sessions with Rebecca over the last 24 hours, and really believe that there's something in this space. And yeah, it's been great working with you on that so far, Rebecca. Tom, who sat on the end there, his business idea is PodChat, and it kind of comes from a place of recognizing that for brand discoverability and personal brands, podcasting and events like this are one of the most effective forms of brand discovery. But it's a really manual process unless you're in the luxurious position to afford a brand manager or a personal brand team. And so the concept is to build a platform which surfaces all those opportunities and makes it really easy for early stage businesses and founders to scale how their brand becomes more discoverable through those mediums. And then finally, Ilyas here was one of the wildcard selections who was brave enough to just randomly put his hand up and pitch an idea. And it's certainly one of the most interesting ideas, and probably one of the ones that I found it hardest to get my head around at the beginning. He's been working with a group of marketing strategists over the last day or so to kind of refine that. And it's really such an interesting idea. The idea that when it comes to brand experience, you think about how important unboxing is, but the one kind of area of that which hasn't been explored is scent and smell. And it's an unbelievably emotive and powerful form of building memories, and something that brands aren't tapping into at the moment. And these guys have really amazing credentials in that space, and are trying to build a marketing agency that helps brands unlock that really powerful sort of emotive concept. All 3 ideas and all 3 founders tick all the boxes for us as a business at Co-Created, and we can only take 2 ideas forwards into the day. And the 2 that we've decided to take forwards, and like I say, it's no reflection on the one that we haven't decided to take forward, are ones that just fit a little bit more with our model of what we're trying to build at the moment. And those ideas are Tom's idea for podcasting and Rebecca's idea for sourcing and agency procurement. And what I would really, really encourage you all in the room to do is pay attention to a business called Musketeers Agency, which is Ilyas's business. I really, really think you're onto something, Ilyas. And the network that you already have, and this huge white space within that. And I think with a little bit more time to kind of refine that proposition and some of the themes we were talking about yesterday, I think you have a really unique proposition which will resonate in certain spaces. And so not taking you forwards is no reflection on you guys, no reflection on the idea. And I would really, really encourage everyone in the room to take a look at that, particularly if you're a brand in the luxury space. That's time up. Thank you for listening. We will be back on this stage at 5:30 today with Tom and Rebecca, where we will select one business, and we'd love you all to join us. Thank you for listening.